Doey the Doughman is one of the most intriguing characters in Playtime's history, but certain details about his backstory, true motives, and even the circumstances of his demise are enough to leave you either shocked or deeply unsettled. Today, we're going to dive into what Doey the Doughman was really hiding and how he managed to save so many toys over time. It all started in 1993 when a boy named Jack Ayers received a Christmas gift and, along with it, got the rare chance to visit Playtime Co. That's where a terrifying incident changed everything. Jack was described as a curious and mischievous child. Now, if you paid close attention to the final scene, right after Doey's transformation into that nightmarish salamander, you'd notice 3 heads emerging from his mouth. This confirms that Doey is actually the result of an experiment involving 3 different kids. Aside from Jack, Doey is also made up of Matthew Hallard, a thoughtful, kind, and compassionate child. And the 3rd kid? That would be Kevin Barnes, the one who sparks the most curiosity among fans. To truly understand Kevin's role in Doey's existence, we need to take a closer look at one of the VHS tapes.
And overview the suitability of one Kevin Barnes in relation to Project Doey. The neural abnormalities noted in Dr. Newman's report are detailed in connection to behavioral issues demonstrated within play care. Trouble getting along with others, aggressive and often confrontational social tendencies, and an otherwise combative nature clearly relay that Kevin is, put simply, a problem child. What friends he does have, he's reported to have attacked in moments of intense play. These tendencies raise concerns. The subject excels in all physical tests. Reflexes, reaction time, and mental fortitude all tested well above average in game station examinations. So, in spite of said concerns, in Dr. Sawyer's eyes, Kevin is ideal for the project. However, if his use in this particular experiment is to move forward, we need to ensure we're not creating a time bomb just as we've begun stabilizing the entire project. If we're to create an experiment that can fulfill multiple assigned roles, we can't allow any single consciousness to throw the others off.
Now, we fully understand the role of each kid inside Doey. First, it's important to know that these personalities don't merge but exist at the same time. Jack is the curious one, always looking for new adventures. Matthew represents kindness and compassion, and thanks to him, many toys lived in a safe and peaceful atmosphere in Safe Haven. Though I'll explain later why that's not entirely true. And then there's Kevin, the leader, insanely smart and strong, but dangerously aggressive and unpredictable. You might also remember the first meeting between Jack's parents and Doey, which fully confirms what I'm saying.
That's what's important. We can...
Who are you?
Jack? Honey, it's me. It's Mommy.
Mommy?
Yes. Yes! It's Mommy and Daddy. You remember, don't you?
Leave me alone.
Hey, you'll be okay, I promise. Mommy's only here to talk.
No, I don't want to talk. Get out!
Susan, I think we should leave.
Jackie, I'm staying right here. I'm not leaving you, not ever again. Do you hear me?
The gentle voices lie. I know what they do. They lie, and they poke, and they hurt. Susan, get away from me!
Jack? Mommy won't lie to you, Jackie. Mommy won't hurt you. I'd never hurt you.
Hey, open this door! Oh, God. Susan! Please, open the door!
We got the full picture. Jack clearly remembered his parents, who died after that meeting, which explains his crying at the end. However, during their conversation with Doey, Jack's parents weren't actually talking to their son, but most likely to Kevin. In this context, it's important to note that only Jack had a family, while the others were orphans. That's why the parents' words about mom and dad hit Kevin so hard, triggering that uncontrollable burst of aggression. We already established that Doey's personalities don't merge, so let's move on. The player's first encounter with Doey happened after meeting Pianosaurus. I personally think this character had enough strength to kill us, but as we later saw, Doey was even stronger, and that's the only reason our story didn't end seconds after the fall. You remember that Kevin is incredibly intelligent and physically powerful, right? That means Kevin was the one responsible for Pianosaurus's death, while the fun and mischievous Jack was the one who spoke to us afterward. Then came the meeting with Kissy Missy and Poppy, and before we knew it, we had arrived at Safe Haven. There we first noticed something strange about Poppy and Doey's relationship, but we'll get back to that later. I also couldn't help but notice how each of the kids tries to take control of Doey's behavior. To be more precise, one of them is both the problem and the solution, not just for Doey, but for everyone else as well. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but you'll get it soon. We see how Doey can easily snap, but just a second later, he's back to normal. Now, let's dive into some backstory. Poppy and Doey were the Guardians of the North. Okay, the Guardians of Safe Haven. These two were responsible for keeping all the toys safe for a long time, right up until Poppy abandoned them. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The reason behind Poppy's actions is still a mystery, but what matters is that from that moment on, Doey never trusted her again. The only thing holding back his aggression was the safety of the toys. In a way, this conversation is a key moment in Doey's story in Chapter 4. Not only did it reveal an important truth, but it also gave us the clearest example of all the personalities shifting.
If it's all true, then we need your help. The voice out there, the one in the prison, they called him the Doctor. Dr. Harley Sawyer. He was the scientist in charge of creating us. We don't know what he is, how he's still alive, but he works with the prototype. Hunting us, starving us, making us sick, and... He controls it all with an Omni-Hand, we think. The executives used them. It's a battery, a key, the master control to anything in the entire factory. And with it, he commands everything down here. Everything but this. The toys out there in Safe Haven. They're my family. I understand what Poppy wants, what she believes is right. Destroy the factory, destroy him. But I ask you to consider, if we throw everything away, everyone, just to kill the prototype, how much do we waste? I know the others might believe it's right, that we should bury everything, but let's just think about it.
We understand that Doey is definitely against the prototype, but his determination and confidence aren't nearly as strong as Poppy's. Thanks to his abilities and immense strength, he was able to successfully protect the toys in Safe Haven. That was always his top priority, which is why there's at least a conflict of interest between him and Poppy. However, he tried to hold himself back for the sake of the toys. One of the VHS tapes showed us that the toys are somewhat afraid of Doey due to his uncontrollable behavior, but that's just something to keep in mind. Of course, all the toys still see Doey as their protector, and now we've finally reached the conclusion of Doey's story and the final takeaway.
I was only made to hurt things. My fault. My fault. Hurt. Everything hurts. Hurt back. Always hurt back. Parents, scientists, everyone have to. My friends. He killed my friends. You. It all started with you. was you who ruined everything! No, that's not true. They jump-started the generator. They destroyed everything! I'll kill you!
I won't go over the personality shifts again, but what's really interesting is what's inside the salamander's mouth. 3 heads and 6 arms. It's obvious that these are Kevin, Matthew, and Jack. But here's the key detail. Only 2 hands are trying to kill us, while the other 4 are trying to hold them back. This scene reveals Doey's biggest secret. Kevin, as the leader, constantly tried to overpower the other personalities and take full control of Doey. Meanwhile, the other kid's main goal was to keep Kevin's rage in check. But after the destruction of Safe Haven, Jack and Matthew were weakened, and because of that, Kevin was able to take over Doey, though not completely. And then there's his tragic ending and that final VHS tape. It's the kind of moment that could actually bring tears to your eyes. No matter what, Doey was seriously an amazing character. Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments. See you in the next videos.